tonight's show is a perfect way to start off our next season. There are many topics that I love to talk about, and one of my favorites, many of you know who know me from the store, who have been watching for several months, know that cloth diapering is a topic that is really dear to my heart and hasn't always been. It's something that, you know, I didn't do with my own children, and I'm just so grateful to be able to have this show to bring to you tonight so you can make better choices than I personally did. And so many of you out there are thinking, I wish I had known this information. I would like to introduce, let's see. First, I'm going to introduce somebody very special to me. I have 3 guests tonight. One of my guests is the expert who is here in the store with me. Many of you know her. Her name is Jennifer Murata. I'm going to bring her in with me. Okay, Jen and I did here's Jen. Hi, Jen. Hi. There's Jen. Awesome. Okay, and Jen, move in a little closer to me. We got to scooch it nice and we're very cozy. Here, Jen and I. Okay. Should we move back a little? We'll move back a little. Okay, cool. Awesome. So Jen and I teach the cloth diapering program here at the store, right? We've been teaching for like 3 years together?
Yes, a long time.
A long time. And Jen has just taught me so much about cloth diapering. How many of you learned from Jen? I see them all out there. Hi, Jen! Yay! Jen is awesome. Okay, Jen is just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to cloth diapering. You've got 3 children, right? You want to tell them?
I have 3 under 3. I have a 2.5-year-old and 2 13-month-olds. Surprise!
Twins,
identical twins. So I have changed a lot of cloth diapers.
She has changed a lot of cloth diapers. Yeah, if you're thinking, okay, like how am I going to do this with 1 baby? This lady's done this with 3 babies, right?
Yeah, 3 at the same time.
3 at the same time. 3 breastfed them and cloth diapered them at the same time. Okay, so this is totally doable, and Jen knows so much about cloth diapering and why the reasons are to cloth diaper that I just asked her last minute to pop in with us because there's nobody I can think of who can really explain it and really give the information as well as Jen can. She's done so much research, and I think it's so important. When I looked at the questions that were coming in, I think there's a lot of lack of knowledge of why would anybody do this, you know? And so I think it's important for us to go over a little bit before we get started. Why would anybody consider cloth diapering? And it's something that we go over in the class, and I think it's important to mention here, you know? Let's talk a little bit about why would moms decide to cloth diaper. I mean, there are 3 main reasons why people decide to cloth diaper.
And I think the most important thing is to break the stereotype. I was not the type of person that anyone would ever think would cloth diaper.
Give them your background a little bit so they understand who they are.
I was a marketing manager for a very large home builder. I didn't clean my own house. I had someone else do that.
That's true. I knew her before this. She did not. I was totally shocked when I found out that she was cloth diapering.
Yeah. And then I sort of started to hear about how important cloth diapering was, and the main reasons that I think a lot of people cloth diaper, the first one is health. People now sort of realize that there's chemicals in everything, and 5 years ago nobody questioned what was in their diaper cream, but now people do question it, and thank gosh we have companies like Earth Mama Angel Baby that actually make products that are safe and healthy for our children. But there didn't used to be stuff like that, and there are tons of chemicals. I won't go into them all now because it's a lengthy discussion that are in your disposable diapers. Some of them are illegal in Europe. Some of them are illegal in women's feminine products. So there are a lot of chemicals in there you want to try to avoid. There are health problems we're seeing in our children that I think some of the blame for those things does fall on products like disposable diapers. It's toxic overload. Their kidneys, their livers are having problems at young ages.
Well, think about it. There's not one product or one thing that your child will come in the closest contact with for the longest period of time except your disposable diaper, you know? And if you would think if you were going to feed your child something, here's a question for everybody. If you were going to feed your child something, would you read the ingredients in the food that you were feeding them? Would you read those ingredients? Would you want to know what are you actually putting into your baby?
Yeah.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
So would you want to know what the ingredients are in your diaper? Well, exactly. I challenge all of you to go take a look at your diapers right now, okay? Everybody go grab your diaper packs, okay? And take a look at the ingredients because you've never actually looked at it, have you?
They're not there. They're not required to tell you.
Don't walk away from the screen because we're joking, okay? Because if you do go look, and you can check this out later, there are no ingredients listed, and that is a real big problem, okay?
No, they're not required, and there's no actual government regulation for what goes into the diaper and what they're required to do for the consumer. So, you know, that frightens me as a parent. anytime people aren't being regulated, it scares me. And I think they should be a little more regulated than they are. And until then, I'm going to cloth diaper.
Completely self-regulated.
Yeah,
completely self-regulated. And they really, if you were to even call the company to ask what's in this diaper, the answer you're going to get is, we don't have to tell you, it's trade secret.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't realize is that what you put on your skin actually does absorb into your baby.
Yeah.
Your skin is your body's largest organ, and especially in an infant, the weave of a baby's skin is much looser. So what happens is, whatever you put onto their skin, whether it's lotions and creams, and I'm sure Mama Melinda can attest to that. That's why we do zero toxin creams and lotions and shampoos for babies. When we do that, we make sure that we use things that are non-toxic. When it comes to the diapers, the chemicals actually do absorb into their skin, and they find it in their urine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You put paraben-filled lotions and chemicals like that on your child, and it comes right out in their urine. So it's going through their bloodstream, in through their kidneys, and out through their urine. So their whole body has just absorbed that. So if you wouldn't feed it to them, don't put it on them.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, there are chemicals in toilet paper, like dioxin, there are legal limits of how much dioxin we can put into toilet paper because it's a known carcinogen.
Right.
Yet there is no legal limit to how much dioxin is in your child's diaper.
None.
Okay, this is a known carcinogen. There are chemicals in the diapers that have been banned from tampons since 1985 because they cause toxic shock syndrome in women. This is very surprising for a lot of people, and I know there are a lot of you out there that are going, what?
Yeah, it is shocking.
This.
It's really shocking. The more research I did on it, the more convinced I was that I needed to cloth diaper, and the more convinced I was that I had to tell people, why I was doing it. I'm not doing it, just because I think they're cute, although they're adorable.
Right.
It started for me from a health concern.
Right, and for most people, that is the reason.
Yeah.
And I want to say just straight out that my children are 7 and 9 years old, and I never knew any of this. And it is literally one of my biggest regrets. And Joe didn't either. And had we known that there was any kind of health concern, I know that we would have been looking at this. And so that's why it's become such a mission for me to get this information out to you, because I know that if somebody had just had this one conversation with me, I would have done things quite different than I did. So it's kind of sad in that way. The other thing I really want to bring up is the whole idea of plastic. And the heating of the testes, especially for little boys.
Well, plastic is a big experiment. I think the more that we learn about plastic, the more most people realize how toxic plastic is, and how even the ones that they're saying that are BPA free, even those aren't so great too. So plastic is like a man-made thing. It's relatively recent. You didn't have plastics 50 years ago. So kids that are in it now, it's a big experiment. Who knows what's going to happen with them? Male sperm counts in this country have declined significantly over the last 30 years. I think the last statistic I read was 50% in the last 30 years.
They have declined. They've declined over 50% in the last 30 years. And same timing as when we started using more disposable diapers.
It lines up with disposable diapers. It also lines up with our, dependence on plastics and things like that. So, I'm not completely blaming disposable diapers, but they have a big, big influence on this. And you're also heating your little boy's testicles up for the first 3 years of their life quite a bit, and then expecting, them to reproduce normally, which probably isn't going to happen. Shari was a midwife. I'm sure you could tell everyone you saw a lot of people that were young, in their 20s, that had problems getting pregnant.
Where it was like no reason for it, and yet it was there.
And that shouldn't happen, So, and that's a big scary thing, at least for me.
And we also saw in the last 30 years a 50% increase in testicular cancers.
That's scary. I had 2 friends in college that got testicular cancer, and these were college guys that got testicular cancer, and that everybody you talk to knows somebody who's had it, and they've all been young. And if you ask your grandmas, did you ever know anybody with that? They'll be like, no. Never. It just didn't really happen as much before. So you've got to wonder, how did that kind of, come about? What's causing it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Another big reason why people decide to cloth diaper is the financial aspect of it.
Money. Money is tight now.
Who worries a little bit about money these days? I mean, I know that we do, and many of my clients are thinking, me, of course. Who's not thinking about money? Especially with the economy the way it is.
Right.
Did anybody know that your biggest expense when it comes to your newborn or to your child or to your infant is going to be your cloth diaper? I mean, your disposable disposable diaper? Your disposable diaper is going to be your biggest expense. I don't think most people realize how much of an expense, because it kind of bleeds you slowly over time. It's not like all at one time, so you don't think about it, but it is your biggest expense.
Yeah, I mean, a pack of Pampers runs you about $40-something the last time I checked. The best way to do an example on this, rather than get into the nitty-gritty, because people who've taken my class know that I will dollar and cents you to the end, but like a real-life example would be Shari. If Shari had decided to cloth diaper her oldest daughter, she would have spent maybe $1,500 total, including all of her laundry and getting extra fancy stuff and having a few extras of everything.
And I would have gone like Cadillac version.
She would have gotten everything that she needed, plus a little extra.
Exactly.
So I'm being very generous with that $1,500.
That's like the most you could possibly spend.
And that's including her laundry detergent, her washing, everything, her water. And how much did you spend doing both children? Because keep in mind, she could use those cloth diapers for baby number 2.
Right.
So how much did you spend combined?
When we actually added up what we actually spent, it was somewhere between $6,000 to $8,000 per child. What?
Don't remind me.
Don't remind. Joe's going. Don't remind me. $6,000 to $8,000 per child, and people completely underestimate.
$12,000 to $16,000.
They completely underestimate this because they're not taking everything into account. They're not thinking about the cost of diapers. My children didn't potty train until they were 3.5. Okay, and that doesn't happen with cloth diapers. They do potty train much quicker. That doesn't take into account the pull-ups, the swim diapers.
All the Desitin for Jade.
Oh God, please, all right, don't even remind me. The diaper creams, the diaper genie refills, all the other stuff that went into it. And Joe wasn't that great about making sure we had enough diapers all the time. Hello, Joe. So driving out to
before all this dropship internet.
Before diapers.com, and all right. And so what happened was we were driving out to A&P at 11 o'clock at night because we ran out of diapers.
And then you pay through the nose.
You're paying through the nose. So I think the cheapest you can really get away with is maybe $4,000. Probably.
Yeah, if you went to Costco and really, never had extra changes and were really careful, you could get away with less. But in reality, the way that most people live is, oops, we forgot diapers. Oops, we need this kind. This kind doesn't work.
I also think that what's coming into play when people are underestimating is that they're actually not changing their child enough.
Right.
Because with a disposable diaper, you can get away with letting them sit in it.
Theoretically, you don't have to change them until they poop.
Yeah,
diaper. I mean, really, because those things just go. I'm amazed.
They'll just keep blowing up all day. In fact, I think the Pampers' new slogan, for their dry max is "Play all day
and never get changed."
What does that mean? Play all day? I don't know. We don't need to change you. You can play all day, right? Not a good idea. And what you'll notice is when you leave your baby wet in a diaper for way too long in a disposable, you'll start to see these little diamonds coming out. Okay, little crystals. Has anybody ever seen those little crystals that come out of a diaper when they get wet? Yeah, I'm sure you see. I hate those
Baby's
crystals.
Not making diamonds.
They're not making diamonds. Okay, that's a chemical called sodium polyacrylate. Very, very toxic to your baby.
It's the black magic.
It's the black magic. It's the thing that blows up and holds 500 times its weight in liquid.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to wait so long to change your baby's diaper, and so you'll be going through more of them in order to save money, which is not saving your baby's health. So not a good idea.
No.
Last reason, okay, the environment.
The environment. Obviously, everybody who's not cloth diapering, every person that deals with diapers knows that disposable diapers can't be that good for the environment. But I think most people don't realize how bad they actually are.
Yes.
Every year that your child is in a disposable diaper, they will put 1 ton, so that's 2,000 pounds of solid waste into the landfills. If you put them in a diaper genie or something like that, you're mummifying them forever.
Yep.
They're probably never going to break down. It's a ton of waste, not to mention all of the petroleum and chemicals that are used to package the diapers, plus ship them.
Yep.
It's a lot of resources wasted, and it does create a significant impact on the environment. Plus, all of the chemicals that go into the diapers do end up in the water that's used to create the diapers. So, there are issues with that kind of thing too, and it's just something I think nobody really says that they're great for the environment, but nobody actually stops and thinks how bad they actually are.
Right. I mean, I think we got some questions that came in regarding whether or not, it really does, the water difference.
Oh, somebody just asked, why does the diaper genie make them last forever? Because you're putting them in another layer of plastic.
Right.
And it's just
it just won't
it's
break
one
down.
more layer
You
of
got these
plastic.
big sausages that never
Yeah.
go away, right?
Yeah, never. I mean, the only test that they've done has
Poop
been in
sausage. It's like a big poop sausage that never goes away.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you know this, but you're not supposed to be throwing poop in the garbage.
No.
So how many people are actually throwing poop in the garbage? I don't know if you'll admit to it. Geez, I'm a poop sausage. Okay, so poop is supposed to go into the toilet. So even if you're using a disposable diaper, if you look at the instructions on the side of the diaper, it tells you to throw solid waste into the toilet. It should not be going into our landfills.
No, it's supposed to go into the sewer system because feces is supposed to be treated appropriately and not thrown into the trash. It's like medical waste or biohazard. You're really not supposed to throw that stuff in the trash. So, technically you're supposed to be dumping it out anyway.
Right. So if you really want to do what's right for the environment, you'd be dumping your poop anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay. So I want to introduce Helene Leonard here. Okay, Helene is one of my favorite clients. I'm so happy she was here. She was actually here with us last week and she never got a chance to talk. And I'm like, okay, you're coming back.
No problem. Anytime.
This is the episode I want you on, okay? All right? So here's the deal. All right, so Helene was at my cloth diapering class how long ago?
Over a year ago now, I guess.
Over a year ago.
14 months.
Okay.
Yeah, Jenna just had the babies.
Okay,
Jenna
good.
just had the babies.
So Helene, was cloth diaper... We're going to laugh here. Was cloth diapering something you have always dreamed about doing in your life?
Sadly, not even close. I thought it was I can't believe I cloth diaper. I just look in the mirror and I say, who is this woman? I was mortified by it. I thought that it was the weirdest thing
You were
in the entire world.
horrified by it.
I was horrified. I was absolutely horrified
think I
until I became informed.
diaper in front of her face the entire time.
You sat with a look on your face like, oh my God, what did I get myself into?
And I came, and it's funny because my husband, of all people, was the one who suggested to go. And if you understand me and my husband, he calls me the tree hugging hippie, so it's actually kind of surprising that I'm the one that came. And I came going, try to convince me.
Yeah.
Like, it's working fine, it's great. I would say within 20 minutes, I went, oh, man. Now that I know.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do?
It was more that I was kind of like, I wish I could have just stayed ignorant. Because now that I know this, I mean, it's just about information. Once you know it, you have to kind of make a decision. I want to do what's best for my child. And I actually, went home and was like, now I really have to think about this.
Yeah.
Like, this is something now that the information's there. I have to make the choice.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long. I think I was back in the morning.
Yeah.
And I came in going, you got me.
You got me. Well, anybody who knows me knows that I know how to sell it. I know it when I want you to do it. It's not hard, but I got to tell you, it's not hard when it's something really good for you.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
and that's what it really comes down to, is that when it's something really good, it's not a hard argument to make.
No.
And when we talk about cloth diapers, it's never a difficult sell because it's something, all I have to do is tell the truth about it, and it just kind of comes out. And we have literally 450 couples just through my store who are cloth diapering, and I would say that over 90% of them had never ever considered to cloth diaper. I mean, they literally look at me like I have three heads. And I know there are some of you out there who are watching who are probably in the store this weekend who met me for the first time, because I know you were going on to come and watch the show tonight, and I had dragged you over to the cloth diapers, and you were looking at me like, okay, now she's completely lost her mind, and you're probably sitting here watching this going, maybe this is something that I would consider.
Yeah.
Right?
And I really thought it would be this overwhelming, like, doing laundry all the time, like, carrying poop around. Like, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was going to be pins. I thought it was going to be just disgusting.
Okay, you got to know something about Helene. This is the other thing that nobody knows about Helene. Helene has this, like, ongoing love affair with her washing machine.
I love my washing machine.
It's like...
I love my washing machine, and I love doing laundry.
Yeah.
I don't like putting it away, but I do like actually doing it.
I would say it's kind of an unusual love about washing machine.
No, it's weird.
It's
okay.
Okay, she admits it.
It's okay.
She admits
It's
it.
strange.
So she was very concerned. You had a huge concern about your washing machine, right?
And that's the only question I asked.
That's all she was worried about.
And I think the reason was once I heard the health benefits, I kept saying, okay, well, this is what's best for my child, but here's the problem with it. I understand this is best, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not putting poop in my washing machine. Like, what happens? What happens when I put poop in my washing machine? And that's all I kept asking.
And what did
I
we
didn't
tell
care
you?
about cost. I didn't care about any of that. Nothing. I didn't care that I was saying when I go, you're telling me to put what in my... But you don't. And that was the whole thing. And it was just, well, no, you're not going to put a loaded diaper in a washing machine. Like, just dump it. And I thought that my pail would smell, and I thought it would be gross. And now I go, oh my God, disposable diapers stink.
Yeah, they really do. They
really
chemical,
smell.
because the disposable diapers actually have a chemical in them that make urine smell, which urine doesn't normally smell.
Right.
Okay, but when you put it into a disposable diaper, there's a chemical reaction that occurs that makes the urine stink. Has anybody ever smelled a diaper genie before? Has anybody ever walked into a house where there is a diaper genie in the house? Okay, talk about
How many of you have left a diaper in a bag?
Oh God,
In a diaper bag overnight?
Oh God. Okay.
Ugh.
That does not happen with the cloth diapers. So obviously there's something going on.
And I also have to say too, like, I'm a working mom. My kids go to a sitter all day. I'm not home with them. I mean, it can work. You can be the normal, typical mom, and it still works.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I went back to work. My son was not even 4 months old yet.
Yeah.
You know, and he's been cloth diapered all around.
Yeah.
And I have to say that truthfully, it's actually a little funny because I kind of chuckle inside to me. There are certain people who just aren't big fans of cloth diapering. Fine, you can have your own opinion. It's fine. But I do have to say that the best thing about cloth diapering is I have yet to have poop squirt out up their back.
That's right. You don't get
It
those
used to
up the
happen
backers.
to my daughter
No poop
all
No poop
the time.
shoots, no up the backers, because
Nope.
there's actually elastic on the diaper. There's actually elastic on the diaper, so that's
I
fantastic.
mean, it has to be special.
Yeah, absolutely.
To get out of a cloth diaper.
Absolutely.
And be thankful it was a cloth diaper.
Absolutely.
Because if it was a disposable, woo! You know, and I have to say, I cloth diapered my now 3-year-old. I mean, I apologize. I didn't cloth diaper her. So I have experience with both.
Yes.
And do I wish I would have cloth diapered her? Well, I wish I would have. I kind of do. I don't regret it because I didn't know the information. So
Yes.
I don't feel like I made an ill-informed choice with her.
You just didn't know.
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I would have loved just to be able to use them for the second kid.
I
Like
know.
sometimes I'm going, because of course I had to figure it out, and I figured out that cloth diapering one was still cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, it would still be
Absolutely.
cheaper, but if I were to have a second or a third, you could keep using them. I mean, these things hold up.
I know. Totally.
You know, you take care of them right. Yeah.
She's used them on 3 babies. So what I want to do right now is I want to introduce a very special friend of mine, okay? I have Julie here from Kanga Care, okay? Julie is the CEO, founder, owner, creator of the best cloth diaper on the market. They are the Little Joeys and the Rumparoo Diapers. Hi, Julie.
Hi there.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm so great. Thank you for joining us all the way from Colorado tonight.
Oh, yeah. You're getting me out of putting 3 little munchkins to bed.
I'm sure that you're so disappointed about that. Take a break, huh?
I can hear it all going on upstairs.
Oh, your poor husband, right? He's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's Sherry Creaso again. She called again tonight, ripping everybody out of the house. Oh, my goodness. So I would just wanted to get a chance to have you come on and talk about, do some questions and answers with us, because so many of the questions and answers that came in are really just things that I feel like you could help me so much in answering regarding like what cloth diapers to use, what to use on them. You know, you created one of the best cloth diapering products on the market. I'm going to show some of your diapers here if you don't mind. Let me show right here. What I've got is a Little Joey. Okay, how cute is that? Okay, can everybody see that? It's backwards. It's like looking in a mirror, okay? But this is a Little Joey, and this Little Joey will fit babies as small as 4 pounds, okay? So cute, all right? And it actually snaps down for the umbilical cord. I love this. And then this one over here, this is the actual Rumparoo's diaper, okay? This is the G2 diaper, and this diaper will fit from birth to potty training, right? 6 pounds and up?
Correct.
Correct. And what's so special? Tell us a little bit about what's so special, because this is one of the questions that people were asking is what makes a Rumparoo's diaper different than other diapers on the market?
Well, the biggest part that sets the rumperoos apart is going to be the inner gussets.
Yeah.
When I started making the diapers for my daughter, it was the first feature that I added into the diaper, and it's unique to rumperoos. We have patent pending on the design, and that's probably the biggest feature that sets the diaper apart. We have a one-size diaper, and instead of starting 8 to 12 pounds, it starts at 6 pounds.
Yeah.
We added in a fourth setting, and that's our newborn setting. So it goes newborn, small, medium, large, and then you have that 6 pounds up to about 35 plus pounds, and they kind of top out right at 40.
Yeah,
that will get the majority of families.
I'm actually making it nice and small for a little 6-pounder so they could see the difference in how small this diaper can actually go.
Yeah, it goes really tiny. And Sebastian was 8 pounds at birth, and he actually skipped the smallest setting. He went straight into the small. He skipped the newborn setting on it.
It's fantastic. And then you also have the insert that goes inside of it, that stuffs inside, is your 6R soaker, which is fantastic because it can be snapped in so many different ways to whether you want the absorbency in the front or the center, depending on the size of the diaper, correct?
Correct. It'll set up for a girl, and it'll set up for a boy. There's 6 different settings to the insert, and then it's also available in hemp, and then the hemp and the microfiber can also be snapped together in, multitude of different combinations.
It's fantastic, fantastic. And I know that you recently added to your line. We're going to give away some of those products in a little while. But let's get to some of the questions that we've gotten that came through that I would love for you to help me answer, okay?
Okay.
Some of the questions that came through, one of the questions was from Taya from Michigan, and she wanted to know, can you use baby powder with cloth diapers? What is the best cloth diaper safe rash cream? And she's asked, and I think I'm going to actually answer that myself. Very easy. Earth Mama Angel Baby, Baby Bottom Balm. That's the best one to use. Jen, do you know anything about using powders on cloth diapers, or would you actually ever need them?
No, I don't know if you need it.
You really don't need them because the whole purpose is that you wanted to say
a dry wipe.
Yeah, a dry wipe is, or some kind of a cloth wipe that's going to dry the baby is going to be the best bet. You really don't need to use powders, and less is more. Yeah, good. That's a good point, right, Julie? Less is more when it comes to your diapers.
Less is definitely more, and a bunch of diapers, especially the pocket diapers, rumpers included, they are considered stay dry. The materials that are used on the inside of the diaper that actually make up the diaper are wicking materials. So the baby pees into the material, it is passed through into the insert, which is what gets saturated, and then the material that sits against baby's skin stays dry. And so it's a stay dry system, and you don't need all the extra talcs and powders. And you're going to use less creams because you're going to reduce your diaper rash dramatically.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's one of the things that Jen and I didn't even talk about before as one of the major benefits of cloth diapering is that we rarely ever see diaper rash with a cloth diaper.
You rarely will. The most common time you're going to see a rash is if it's due to a sensitivity to the detergent, or if there's something else going on like a yeast infection, and whether you're using cloth or disposables, that'll pop up with babies time to time.
Well, or if they sit and poop for too long and you're not changing them, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that will happen no matter what, which is why we want you changing your babies frequently. But that's a really good point that you brought up about the detergent. The types of detergents really matter when it comes to your cloth diapers.
They really do, and everybody's going to find something different that works for them. The biggest key is you want to find something that's going to rinse out of your diapers and leave them residue-free, and something that your baby's not sensitive to.
Right. And some of the things that you might want to avoid when it comes to the detergents, what would they be?
You absolutely do not want any kind of softeners. The softener in a detergent is actually made to cling to the fibers so that your towels and your clothing is nice and soft and static-free, but it's leaving a residue, and that residue is going to keep your diapers from absorbing moisture. It'll actually cause them to repel, and you'll have leaking problems, you'll have buildup, and they can start to stink and smell like ammonia, or they just might smell not clean in general.
Absolutely.
So there's a combination of all kinds of chemicals that can be found in different detergents, and then they all kind of work together to create all kinds of problems for your diapers.
We've actually found our new favorite detergent, and that's from Grovia. It's actually called Tiny Bubbles.
I've been testing it for a year.
Jen's been testing it for a while, and she loves it, and we happen to love it too. And I know Julie likes it for her diapers as well, correct?
Yeah, we love Tiny Bubbles. It's whenever we have customers that call in and they are, having problems finding a really good detergent for them, that's one of the top ones that we'll recommend, and we virtually never get back from that customer again. I'm assuming it solved their problems. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's going to be one of our prizes tonight is the Tiny Bubbles, so somebody's going to win a Tiny Bubbles tonight. Okay, awesome. Let's go on to another question here. Let's see. We have... somebody from New Jersey, Hasi from New Jersey. Is there any point in switching a baby over from disposable to cloth at a toddler stage? What do you think, Julie?
I think absolutely. It doesn't really matter how old your baby is. There's always going to be benefits in switching over to cloth. Additionally, if you even have a week left before you think you're going to potty train, cloth's definitely going to be worth it. Statistically, babies that are cloth diapered will also potty train sooner, so you can even use that as a tool to help them potty train.
Tell them the story about Sebastian that you were telling me earlier and how old he is.
He is going to be 2 on Friday, and he's pretty much potty trained during the day. We put a diaper on him at night. Do you want me to tell you a story?
I do, because it was so funny. Just quickly.
We were in the car yesterday, and he had to pee and was just screaming it out in the back seat. And I had no idea what to do, so I pulled over into the nearest street. I'm in a neighborhood, and all these things are going through my mind. I'm like, I can't just, have him pee on the fence or in a bush. We're in a neighborhood, and I have an emergency diaper that's been bouncing around in my trunk forever. And so I pulled it out, and I stripped him down, and I stood him up in the seat, and I opened the pocket up, and I had him pee into the pocket. And so I was joking about it with my Facebook fan page that the bumpers can double as a portable urinal.
It's a portable urinal. I know. So cute. All right, Julie, so tell me, what sizes do the Rumparoos actually fit?
Okay, so there's 4 sizes. There's a newborn, and that will start at about 6 pounds. And then you go up to the small. The small is going to start around 10 pounds. Medium's going to start around 15 pounds. And the medium is the size that they're going to be in the longest. A lot of times we'll have customers, that are concerned that their cloth diapers aren't going to last them until the baby's potty training. And babies, when they start getting older, they start, until they're crawling and walking, they're getting wider. And then when they start crawling and walking, they get taller.
Right.
So what happens is they'll be in a medium, they'll go up to a large, and they can go up to a large anywhere between 6 and 9 months. And then traditionally, once they start crawling and walking,
right,
they'll go back down to the medium. So it's not
that's
like
true.
the disposable diapers where you just keep climbing those
People
numbers.
think they're going to just keep getting bigger and bigger, and what they do is they start to stretch, and they get actually thinner and thinner at times.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. And some other questions that came in here. This was from Carrie in Ohio. What is one of the biggest breakthroughs in the cloth diapering community that changed the way cloth diapers were made? What happened that changed them from pre-fold pins to pockets with snaps?
Well, the biggest change that hit cloth diapers, and this is what we call the modern style cloth diaper, is when we got away from the pre-fold, and diapers had self-fastening systems, and they were waterproof. This got rid of the need for the covers that were bulky and plastic or nylon, and the pins. Now, there's still families that will use the traditional style pre-folds and covers. There are much better covers nowadays. We don't have to use pins anymore. They have little things called snappies. But what people are now calling the modern style cloth diaper is going to be a pocket diaper or an all-in-one or a hybrid. And they function very similar to disposable diapers, except they're washable and you're not, tossing money into the landfill.
Absolutely. That's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, if I had seen these diapers 9 years ago, I really definitely think I would have I know I would have done, because this was not what we had 9 years ago, for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of people have no idea that this is, that this is what cloth diapers are like nowadays. And I saw, some comments going in the chat room about cloth diapers and daycare. And with the feedback that I've heard from local customers, we've told them, take your diapers in and show them how easy they are. We've gotten most daycares to at least let you bring in a wet bag for each dirty diaper. So if you get these small little wet bags, and you can put one dirty diaper in each wet bag, a lot of daycares are accepting them. And a lot of daycares have no idea that these are the diapers you're talking about. They think that they want you to bring
don't ever walk in and just go, we're going to cloth diaper, because they have no clue what you're talking about. They're thinking of pre-folds and pins and the old-fashioned. They have no clue. You need to walk in, show them your diapers, and just say, my baby needs to be in this. My baby's sensitive to the chemicals and the disposables. This is what you need to do, and that's it. And I would say more than half of our clients are using them in daycare, and it's not an issue. Julie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As always.
I love joining you.
I know. We love when you're here. I love being with you. So have an awesome night, sweetheart. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to talk to you about, let's talk a little bit about Grovia, okay? Grovia is a company that is owned by Kim, and Kim created this company to create a hybrid system, okay? There is a need in the market for something in between, okay? For those of you who haven't been able to make the full jump over to cloth, or you're thinking to yourself, I'll do it when my baby's home, maybe I'll use cloth when I'm home, and then use disposable when I go out. And I know Jen's been using the bio soakers, and she loves it when she goes out, a little less bulky to carry around in your bag, but a way to minimize the amount of chemicals but still use something that's a throwaway diaper that's actually biodegradable. They made a product that's just fantastic, and now there's two. So I want to show it to you, okay? These are actually the covers, okay? These are called these are actually the shells, okay? These are called shells. And the shell, okay, has an outer shell that will go from birth to potty training as well, so it snaps up the same way. And then what's nice about this too is it has and you can't see it here, but what it actually has is a layer of mesh here. It's a soft mesh, which makes it nice for a swim diaper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, it's an awesome swim diaper just on its own. So we love having at least one or two of these in your arsenal of cloth diapers, okay, to put a shell in. And then what you have is something called a bio soaker, okay? These are the bio soakers, and these also will fit from, I keep doing that in the wrong direction, but I am no Vanna White, okay? Let's just put it that way. Okay, the bio soakers go in from birth to potty training, and what they look like these little diapers, okay? But they actually function more like a maxi pad, okay? They have these little sticky things that come off, and what they'll do is they'll stick inside of the diaper, okay? So you open this up, and you will stick this right inside of the shell, which turns this into a disposable hybrid, okay? This is very different than other hybrids on the market, okay? If you've ever heard of some of the other hybrids, we're not mentioning any names tonight, okay? But this one is very, very useful and very user-friendly. It works. It holds in breast milk poop, as Jen is telling me over here. That's because it has gussets on the side. Very important to hold the poop in, okay? And then these are all very low chemical, dioxin-free. The amount of the sodium polyacrylate gel is like a minimal amount. That's why it actually needs the shell over it. And so this is a really great way if you're going on vacation.
Actually, we're going away.
Okay, tell them, go ahead.
Okay, we're going away on Saturday for a week on a small boat. And I don't know if anybody saw how small this package actually is. This is 50, so this is the equivalent of 50 diapers in here. So I'm bringing 2 of these on the boat and 6 of those covers for a week on a boat in the middle of the ocean with those. So I'll let you all know how that works out for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah.
So lucky. Okay, awesome. So this is great. And then what the other thing so Grovia also makes the tiny bubbles. That's the laundry detergent that we were talking about. okay, that we love. And then the other thing that they recently just came out with was their bio diaper, okay? Now this is a full-fledged diaper, okay? I think I have one behind me here, right? This is an actual diaper, okay? So when people ask me, well, what's the best diaper? And I know one of the questions that came in was about 7th generation. Jen, you want to talk about 7th generation for a minute? Jen's going to keep coming in here.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll come this side this time. So 7th generation has really good market. I can't figure it out either. I'm dyslexic here. Oh, there we go. Taylor just showed me where to actually look. So 7th generation, my beef with them is they had a marketing group when they designed their diaper, and what they did is the marketing group said that the diaper would look better if it was browner. So while they removed the dioxin, they added in this dye, this brown dye, and they won't tell me what it is. I've called twice. Deba has called, and nobody will tell us what it is, and I don't know what it is. It's not vegetable based. So they removed the dioxin, put in another chemical. It's got other chemicals in it. It's an expensive diaper, and guess what? Breast milk poop comes pouring out the legs. Who has used it on breast milk poop and had it pour out the leg? Yeah. Seriously, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
So, that's my beef with the 7th generation.
Somebody's
diaper.
asking, why would they add dye?
Because the marketing group said that it would look more natural if it was browner.
There you
and
go.
it was just an off-white.
There
so
you go.
They listened to and it's in an opaque package, keep in mind. So you can't see through the package, so brown is not the buying decision.
Yeah. I guess to make it look unbleached. You know what? This is what unbleached looks like. This is what paper looks like when it's unbleached. It's an off-white.
Perfect white.
What's wrong with it? Okay, it doesn't need to be solid white, and it doesn't need to be brown.
No, it's just ivory.
This is what it looks like when nothing's been done to it, when there are no chemicals added to it. Okay, and that's what Grovia did. Was they created a diaper that is wonderful. It's got a minimal amount of the sodium polyacrylate gels, which it has to have any kind of absorbency. But it has a wood pulp inside too, and it actually biodegrades, okay? So this is different than most of the diapers out on the market. So this one is going to be fantastic as a choice, whether it's in the hospital for those first couple days, or what's going on in there?
Mama Rabbit said, it will be brown enough when you're done with it.
Yes, that's a good one. It will be. Who needs it to be brown to start? It's going to be brown when you're done, right? That's right.
Or yellow, or orange, or green.
It's going to turn colors anyway, okay? Let's start off with it with a little bit white, right? Okay, so this is a really good option if you wanted to use some kind of a disposable, and for a lot of people, they just want to figure out what's the best disposable. This is my first choice. That's from Grovia. It's their bio diaper, okay? Let's have everybody say goodnight. Ready? Come over. We're going to say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Taylor. Come on over, Taylor. All right. Good night, everybody. We love you. Mwah.
Mwah.
Good night.